Now, in today's video, we're taking a look into a deeply controversial and unsettling change sweeping through America. Segregation is making a comeback. Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you don't have to miss on any of our interesting videos. With recent actions from the federal government, laws that once banned segregation have been lifted, giving way to a stark reality where division and discrimination are legal once again. Now, in this video, my fellow Black brothers and sisters are speaking out, raising powerful voices that force us to confront the implications of this shift. Now, one woman passionately asks, "You want segregation so badly?" Well, it works both ways, challenging the idea that division only hurts certain groups. Now, what happens when the very people who've been oppressed take a stand, turning the tables on the system? So stay tuned as we explore the heated reactions and thought-provoking responses to this change. I will be right back.
Segregation on bathrooms, on restaurants, on who to hire. That is part of removing DEI, okay? Let's do it. Bring back segregation. I want to know where the fuck I'm not welcome. I want to know where my money does not deserve to be put at, because let's make this very fucking clear. Black people in America are the buying power. Y'all forget we buy more than anybody else. I don't know why we do that shit, but we do. So let us know if we aren't welcome. Bring back segregation. I guarantee y'all fuck up all y'all money, because white folks don't shop like that. And when they do, they don't spend in middle class areas. It's the rich shit like Gucci and Prada, not everyday hometowns. Go ahead, yourselves up. Bring segregation back. Yup. Bring it on back. Let's see how this shit rides. You see what's going on with Target.
So did you guys see that federal agencies are now bringing back segregation, and that they quietly have undone the law that prohibits certain constitutions and institutions that have goods or services to segregate? While y'all are on here bring back segregation, they already did when they wiped out DEI, but people are sounding the alarm on it because they are instituting it and telling companies to start to do it now. Segregated facilities are no longer explicitly banned in federal contracts, meaning they can do shit like waiting rooms for colored onlys and white only gyms. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's read. The segregation clause is one of the several identified in a public memo issued by the General Services Administration just last month, affecting all civil federal agencies. Now, this memo explains it is making changes prompted by President Trump's executive order on diversity, equity, and inclusion, which replaced an executive order signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965 regarding federal contractors and non-discrimination. Now, a recent notice from the National Institute of Health shows that change is already in effect. Several federal agencies, include the Department of Defense, Commerce, and Homeland Security, have notified staff who oversee federal contracts that they should start instituting these changes. The changes to the FAR 52-222-21, which is prohibition of segregated facilities, and 26, equal opportunities will not be considered when making award decisions or enforce requirements. Now, the prohibition of segregated facilities, the reason why we don't have to go into establishment and see four colored water fountains fucking only, is because of the Prohibition of Segregated Facilities Act. Contractor has to agree that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facility at any of its establishments, which explicitly bans the use of segregation in public spaces. And guess what? Trump undid that, and the person who is whistleblowing on this and telling the federal agencies now have to do it doesn't even want to show his face. So while you guys are on here saying dumb shit like we're resting and digesting as Black people, they're slightly undoing everything that we worked years for. So yep, I'm gonna go now. Bye. So
the man is trying to put martial law into place. Okay, he's trying to put it into place, and he's trying to get those of us that are melanated upset about it so that way we can go out and riot so he can have a reason to enact martial law. I really wish y'all would have listened to us when they overturned Roe v. Wade. Because I said, and I have the video to prove it, I said that once they overturn Roe v. Wade, they're coming after everything else. Y'all didn't want to believe it because those of y'all who were homophobic, racist, sexist, misogynist, anything of that nature, y'all were salivating at the thought of us suffering. Just happy about it. And now because some of y'all are sitting up here being affected by it personally, now y'all want us to just go out and riot with y'all. Absolutely not. That man just did this, just put into law that it's, we gonna have colored and whites only fountains again, according to him. Like, black people, continue to stay your ass at home. Continue to stay at home, tend to your families, tend to your dogs, your cats, whatever it is, and mind your business. They want us to get upset so that way they can say this is the reason why we have to enact martial law, because they're mad that we're not mad about it. Y'all had the opportunity to stand with us November 4th and y'all chose not to. We tired. We done.
So my mom will be 66 this year. That means she was born in 1959. My dad was born in 1960. He's 65. Segregation was not that long ago. Do not let them make you think that segregation was hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It wasn't.
So Trump bringing back segregation? We don't give a fuck. You don't know. Trump has basically passed a law where now contractors can say this is the white only fountain, this is the black only fountain, colored fountain. This is the colored bathroom, this is the white only bathroom. Now I know they finna have a field day with this in the South immediately. I'm in the Midwest, so we might not see that too soon just yet, but I'm sure it's gonna come. But I just wanna be the one to first, let me talk to my black people real quick. Black people, we don't give a fuck still. And I want to talk to y'all real quick because see, when they decide to bring back whites only, colors only, all of that, I'm gonna tell y'all this. One thing we need to do is make sure we turn our shit up. We need to get our shit in order. We need to make sure that we are supporting black only businesses. We are making it a necessity to make sure when they do bring this shit back, you see who want to play this game and make sure you play that shit better than them. We're the reason why a lot of these motherfucking corporations are even functioning. So to think that they want us to react so bad, like we are trying to learn motherfucking where them fans at, and here y'all come trying to tell us what motherfucking water fountain we need to be drinking out of. Like, Trump, please find something else to fucking do. If you think this finna get us in the street, I'm gonna have to tell me how. Come in real quick. It's not going to work, okay? If anything, this is the best thing that has happened yet, because I would love to go to a color only bathroom, a color only water fountain, because I'll just be 100 with y'all. Some of y'all nasty as fuck. So to say that we are finna go back into segregation, like what y'all gonna do when we lit as fuck over here and y'all born as fuck over there? Y'all don't know what we doing. Y'all ain't doing shit. So to segregate anything is just the craziest shit ever, but I'm not surprised. We're not about to use this as a situation to make us feel like, oh, we're scared. Well, no. Protect yourself. Get your family in order. Black people, get your family in order. Start to really be more mindful of the money you're spending. Invest your money, because the only thing they got up on us right now is knowing how money works. Knowing how to invest that money to make that money make money for them. We need to spend our time focused on that. We're not getting in the streets marching. We're going to get in them books and understand credit, understand investments, understand stock, understand how to, we're going to do that. Because eventually what's happening is we got to get on the other side. See, they know how to build businesses and use government money to basically keep themselves afloat. We don't yet. So let's learn that. All that said, to all of the people who are not black and you are like trying to fight for this and you really want to see a change, more power to you. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this: we happy y'all care because we don't give a fuck. And if you a black person that's finding yourself starting to care, please don't. This is your reminder to sit this shit out, because at the end of the day, it don't matter what we do, it don't matter what we say. The only thing they want to do is get us in a position where they can off us and then make it seem like this is the reason why they did A, B, C, D. But we finna just go ahead and learn what the motherfucking fans at and continue to mind our business like we've been doing. Hello, bye.
They trying to threaten us with segregation as if our people were better off by ourselves anyway. Whoop-de-doo. Now y'all can't steal our ideas. Please be the catalyst to take over what's rightfully ours. Because anything you can do, you know we can do better. Oh, and let's not forget, black women are still the most educated demographic in the United States. But to think that all these tactics y'all doing is gonna get us to get out here and march? No. Baby, we gonna pull up to them establishment and they talking about a black hurt and a white third. We gonna go take our money elsewhere. As if the effects of Target was not a warning. You don't think the economy is gonna be crashing without that good black dollar? Think again. Because believe it or not, we are the race that's spending the majority. So this is still a time for the black people to continue to be level-headed and relaxed. Just imagine them having 4 years of savings. Because at the rate it's going, this is not even gonna last for 4 years. Because while they think in their head, it's putting them behind. And they looking to rage bait us for any reason to get up out in that field. And guess what? We're not going. We're not going. Sit back. Yeah, sit back.
Trumpster dumpster, we don't care what you try to do to us. We know that you're trying to come for us and spark us up and try to get us dysregulated. But you know what? We, as a culture, have come too far. Black people have been too tired and worn out by all this mess, and we're not going back. We don't care what you tried to do with Muskie-Vu, Muskrat, and all that kind of mess. We don't care. And other people don't care, because you know what? In the end, we're going to win. We don't care. You think that you're going to win, but you can't fight against right, because right will always win. So do it all you want. Keep on trying to plug away at things and do all your little Humpty Dumpty little things. And all the king's horses and men, when you fall, will not be able to put you back together again. So we don't care. Keep on. Because you're going to show you're behind and it's not going to be cute. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna say this shit real quick. The federal government is now encouraging segregation. This is another tactic to get us people out there on them streets so they could do what they need to do. I don't think they have learned yet. This fuck around and find out just really has not hit them yet. They don't get it. Black farmers are doing better than white farmers in Nebraska. Why? Because y'all racist and y'all think that we get handouts and we don't, because the black people really know how to fucking do it from the ground up, and y'all was the one getting the handouts and y'all ain't getting shit. Segregate this motherfucker. Y'all don't even know how to cook with more than black pepper and motherfucking salt. And y'all barely use that. Segregate this motherfucker, because y'all the ones out here wearing bonnets. Segregate this motherfucker, because y'all the one that's on this app talking about box braids came from Vikings. Segregate this motherfucker. Y'all the one on here talking about they not like us. Y'all really are not like us. Segregate this motherfucker, because honestly we did better when we was by ourselves. Y'all the one that came and fucked up everything when it was segregated. The difference is that back then we thought we was missing out on something. Y'all know that fucking viral meme of that man talking about, not the meme, the video of the protester from the civil rights movement talking about he sat down and ate that food and he was like, this is what the fuck we was protesting for? Segregate this motherfucker. Y'all want us to rage so fucking bad and we don't care.
Please put up them signs. Go ahead, tell us where we're not meant to go. And while we at it, every Jamaican restaurant, every Mexican restaurant, every soul food restaurant, any other thing but white, put up them signs and say no whites allowed. Please. Please. Let us know where you don't want us to go, and we won't go there. But in return, give it back, because your food is nasty anyway. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. But you want to have your little Mexican where, please don't make it too hot. Please. Let us know, because I like knowing where I'm not wanted. I do. I'd be like, oh, you right, bitch. And I will move on to the other side. There are other things. Segregation, okay, but don't come over here trying to burn shit down when you realize your shit is trash. Ho.
Just in with some disturbing news from the White House. It looks like Donald Trump is trying to make America great again by bringing back segregation. It is no longer illegal for federal government to segregate contractors in waiting rooms, restaurants, and drinking fountains. It seems like many Americans are having mixed emotions. You have a group of black women who are saying this is not their fight, because based on the election results, if you recall, 92% of black women voted against Donald Trump. They say that they tried to warn Americans and they did not listen. But to be clear, black women do not make up the entire America. I'm interested to see, no matter what race you are, how do you feel about this? What do you think? Many younger Americans may be surprised to realize segregation was actually not that long ago, and the executive order that Trump has overturned was from Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965. And to put that in perspective, my parents were about 8 years old when that executive order was signed. There are still state and some federal laws that protect people from discrimination and segregation, but many fear that the decision that Trump has made will cause a ripple effect. So tell me what you think.
So now we got an executive order out here dealing with segregation. You know, is it the 1960s? Have we time traveled or something? I mean, come on, what is going on here? Allowing, contractors to basically segregate, Even though the 1964 Civil Rights Act clearly cuts that in half. And I'm sure that those contractors, if they got any good sense, they're not going to follow what this man is saying with this executive order thing. But wow, we were kind of like better off during those times. The family unit was a lot stronger. Just saying, I'll leave y'all with this though.
Now, the return of segregation is not just an attack on people's rights, but a slap in the face to everything our ancestors fought for. For generations, Black Americans have struggled to break free from the chains of racial inequality, enduring centuries of systemic oppression and surviving countless injustices. Now, the lifting of the segregation ban is a painful reminder of how fragile progress can be and how easily some would like to turn back the clock on our hard-won freedoms. Now, one of the most powerful points made by my fellow Black brothers and sisters in this fight is the idea of segregation working both ways. If segregation is legally reinstated, then it should be applied equally to everyone. If the system wants to divide us by race, then let the boundaries be drawn for everyone. Black communities have long been excluded, marginalized, and denied basic rights, whether it's in schools, the workplace, or the housing market. But now, with segregation legal once more, we can turn this on its head and churn our space. We are not afraid to say no to places or systems that seek to degrade us. Moreover, Black businesses, cultures, and communities are thriving and powerful in their own right. Black people don't need to beg for a seat at a table that doesn't want them. We've built our own tables, our own spaces, and our own success. From soul food restaurants to innovative entrepreneurs, we have a rich history of creating and supporting our own despite the exclusion we have faced. Now, the backlash against these actions should be loud and clear. Black people will not go back to the days of humiliation and segregation. Our food, our culture, our people, they are beautiful and deserving of respect. And Black people will stand united against any attempt to divide us. Now, all I can say is that if segregation is going to be legal again, then I feel we need to demand that it works both ways. Let's make that clear first. Because we're more than capable of building and thriving without the approval of those who seek to oppress us. And I feel we are going to turn this moment into an opportunity for unity, empowerment, and resistance. Now, the administration of US President Donald Trump has removed an explicit ban on segregated facilities like waiting rooms, restaurants, and drinking fountains for federal contractors, a memo issued by the US General Services Administration showed. Now, the memo was issued last month, but media outlets took note of it on Tuesday after a report from NPR. Now, since taking office on January 20th, Trump has taken multiple steps aimed at dismantling diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government and private sector. Now, in one such executive order, Trump revoked executive policies dating as far back as 1965 on equal employment opportunities, environmental actions designed to promote communities of color, and workforce balancing efforts by federal contractors based on race, gender, and religion. Now, the 1965 action aimed to end discriminatory practices in hiring and employment on the part of U.S. government contractors. The February 15 memo said it was making changes prompted by that executive order from Trump. Now, the memo stated that when issuing new solicitations or contracts, civil agencies should no longer include the provision and clause about the prohibition of segregated facilities. Federal and state laws still outlaw discrimination and segregation, and while the memo state was symbolic, civil rights advocates noted it as part of a trend with Trump's policy making. Now, they said that any step that may give the perception of turning back the clock on racial segregation was not welcome. And while segregation is still illegal, this change sends a clear message. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump said. Now, rights advocates say measures Trump is trying to dismantle aimed to uplift marginalized groups and address the continued effects of historical and generational inequality. Trump and his allies defend his actions by saying his orders aim to remove what they call discrimination against other Americans, including palm-colored people and men. Now, while there are still state and federal laws that outlaw segregation and discrimination that companies need to comply with, legal experts say this change to contracts across the federal government is significant. It's symbolic, but it's incredibly meaningful in its symbolism. A constitutional law professor at New York University said. Now, these provisions that required federal contractors to adhere to and comply with federal civil rights laws and to maintain integrated rather than segregated workplaces were all part of the federal government's efforts to facilitate the settlement that led to integration in the 1950s and 1960s. Now, the fact that they are now excluding those provisions from requirements for federal contractors, I think speaks volumes. Now, the clause in question is in the Federal Acquisition Regulation, known as the FAR, a huge document used by agencies to write contracts for anyone providing goods or services to the federal government. Now, the clause of the FAR is titled Prohibition of Segregated Facilities and reads, the contractor agrees that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facilities at any of its establishments, and that it does not and will not permit its employees to perform their services at any location under its control where segregated facilities are maintained. It defines segregated facilities as work areas, restaurants, drinking fountains, transportation, housing, and more, and it says you can't segregate based on race, color, religion, S orientation, gender identity, or national origin. Now, several federal agencies, including the Departments of Defense, Commerce, and Homeland Security, have notified staff who oversee federal contracts that they should start instituting these changes. A recent notice from the National Institutes of Health shows that the change is already in effect. The notice regarding a maintenance agreement for scientific freeze dryers cites the GSA memo and reads FAR prohibition of segregated facilities and FAR equal opportunity will not be considered when making award decisions or enforce requirements. Now, to be clear, all businesses, those that have government contracts and those that do not, still need to follow federal and state laws, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which makes segregated facilities illegal. This is where we're at currently. They are really trying so hard to push black people, but I guess a lot of black people just don't give an F anymore. Like, let them do whatever they want. I mean, people are tired. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, our viewers, have to say about this? Share your thoughts, your views, your comments. Do you also feel that if this is going to be in effect, then it should be both ways? It should be both ways.